Alright, Boba Fett, Galactic Bounty Hunter. We're going to start with a sphere. We want to make that as round as we can, and then about halfway down we've got this eyepiece. And it's curved because the head is curved, and so we want to make sure it's symmetrical on both sides, and so I'm just going to give us that center line to gauge by. And you'll see I'll make a million adjustments because I struggle a little bit with that left side being wider. And I just want to make sure every edge is symmetrical. So the width of the eyepiece that I'm drawing now, it's kind of like this curved Y, I would say, or a T. It curves the same on both sides, and it's a little bit nice to have this lined paper without planning it to help me get that symmetrical. The same width across the eyepiece as I go down in the middle, the same width in that where the nose would be. And then once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to darken up my lines. I like using this mechanical pencil because I am drawing a little bit smaller, and then my tip of my pencil doesn't get too wide. Now you can see when I'm flaring out this bottom piece of the helmet that is too wide on the left, and I'll make that adjustment. I'm also noticing that the length is too long from where the eyes are down to where the bottom of the chin will be, and I will make that adjustment in a second as well. So I like using a kneaded eraser, but I also like this finer tipped eraser to reach these tiny areas. It would have been easier if I just would have drawn bigger in the long run. Okay, and just cleaning up helps a lot. Notice how I'm not dragging my hand through the pencil mark, so to avoid any smudging. Okay, now I like this width a lot, and I'm just going to go through and do some details, again stressing how much it is important to have the symmetrical detail. Now when I have highlights and smudges to make the helmet look old, you don't have to make that symmetrical. And then I've got this super cool antenna so he can call his boss Jabba the Hutt, and just looking at my negative space between the antenna and the curve of the helmet to make sure I've got that correct. And again, just going through and adding as much detail or as little detail highlights. I'm kind of outlining a guide for when I color this in eventually. I haven't made the video yet with colored pencils of my dark, medium, and light areas, and that makes it kind of easy for me when I get to that stage. Okay, now that I'm satisfied with the proportions and the detailing of the pencil, I'm going to go through with these microline pens. I'm using a 0.35 millimeter, and then I have a 0.25 millimeter I'm going to use in a second for the fine details. And I really like these pens because they don't bleed through my paper. I'm not using a super high quality art paper that's incredibly thick, and so I like that. I like that the pencil marks, even though I did use that nice mechanical pencil, they still get kind of wide and sloppy, and for something like this helmet that's industrial, I want to have these nice, tight, controlled lines, so I like the thicker and the thinner ink tip. And then when it's nice and dry, I take my kneaded eraser and erase all my pencil marks and get the end result that I would like. I can also go back through and add more detail after I add colored pencil. With these pens on top of the colored pencil work really nice. Okay, there you go.